Okay, so I'm not too far behind. We now have the brand new Scarlet and Violet set, Paradox, Rift. I have one of each of the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, which comes with a special, unique promo card. One is a future one is a past one. It is not the guy featured on the front of the box, interestingly, but these are the two major newer decks that have come out of this set. There's a few others, but these two are some of the mainstays that I've been seeing getting a lot of competitive play recently, so it makes sense that these are featured on the respective boxes. I like the color schemes. I think they're pretty sweet. It's cool if you add your version, you can get, your specific one. But I wanted one of each because I'm insane and I want those promo cards with the Pokemon Center stamp because they're very freaking cool. So without further ado, I'll break into both of these, open up all the contents on the table off screen, and then we can get into it and talk about it. Here we go. Okay, so got both of these kind of open. I wanted to kind of go through it just because I forgot. I was like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. We should look at it. So first thing to note is the booklets are the same. Should be the same set list, same everything in both of these. Nothing really different. But they did go back to this glossy hardcover book. I think for last set they didn't. I wonder if that was the ETB or if it was something else. But I remember the last booklet I got, they definitely weren't thick with the good cover like this. I thought they were going a little cheaper. But I guess they're changing that again. So without further ado, let's go back to the box. They didn't cheap out on the booklet. And the box looks really nice. You get a nice like ruby trim. You get a nice ruby reflective on the top. I like it. You get your classic trashy ones of these. You open this fella up, and then we should get, okay, pre-opened sleeves. But Roaring Moon, very cool. Actually, yeah, I kind of dig it. I don't know. I'm just a big fan of red, so red with anything really works for me. Dig the sleeves, very cool. We get the code card that gives you one of each of the promos online, which I don't think it has the Pokemon Center stamp online. I think it just like is the card twice. You get your nice brick of energy as per usual. And then we get, I always pull the stamp one first for you guys. Okay, yeah, putting the stamp one aside, we're going to put that there. We'll go to the promo last, because that's probably the most interesting thing. You get your 4 dividers, nothing special here. These are not reflective, interestingly. Usually they've been doing the same consistency. Of your boy Roaring Moon, which is the weird Salamence ancient variant, because the whole gimmick of this set is ancient and future Pokemon. Yes, and this is better than the 151 super premium collection thing because you actually got a nice big dice. And these are some of my favorite again, I wish I didn't have the X symbol, but this is a really good color dice. I enjoy it. You know how I have to critique my dice every time we open this. Binding is a card game. If you haven't played it, I'll just keep plugging it because that's the one thing I use it for. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, you get 11 booster packs of the brand new set. And I'm very excited to open this because I am going to a standard format tournament at a convention. So that's pretty exciting. So I need to pull some specific cards out here and we'll talk about that as we get into them. But before we do that, let's look at the promo you get in here. You get Screamtail, the fun variant of Jigglypuff. Roaring Scream is actually useful in Gardevoir decks because you could use the Gardevoir EX's ability to accelerate energy and damage itself to hit for a whopping, 20 damage to 1 for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So you can put it anywhere you want. You're doing basically 160 if you get all the energy moved that way. Very cool, super useful. I like the colors in this. Kind of screwing over like an ancient lake. It almost feels like if you watch like an old like dinosaur documentary, like you watch it like when the gas was making the sky look different and they really ham everything up to make it look otherworldly from back in the day. That's kind of what they're doing here. I like it. And then you get number 2, which the only difference is it's got that Pokemon Center stamp. Always interested to see what these prices hold at, because usually they pay for half of the tin. And that's probably because I don't know how much Pokemon Center's been doing extra waves of these. I haven't really looked. Like, can you even find like Scarlet Violet base set anymore, or is that kind of just over now? I genuinely don't know. Let's move that over there. God, there's so much stuff in the way. Okay, we're going to put the ETB over on the side there for now. And this one's got the green and pink aesthetic going, which is also a good set of complementary colors there. You get your Iron Valiant sleeves. Very cool. Honestly, I like the design of both the future and the ancient Pokemon. No complaints. Like I feel like the future ones, they didn't really go too drastically different, but I guess neither really with the ancient ones anyway. You could tell what it is, which is good, I guess. But I also don't feel like crazy off from like look at the Raikou that they did. Like when we get to that ancient one, like that feels wild, but like the base ones didn't feel super far off from what they normally look like. Like this guy, for example. Here's our future Iron Bundle. I don't know why they had to give him stupid 2-word names that don't sound like a Pokemon name. Like, call him something else. Call him, like, I don't know. Give him, like, a weird dinosaur-sounding name or future-sounding. I don't know. Iron Bundle. Like, everything just got Iron Hands, Iron Bundle. It's just kind of meh on the naming. But, yeah, that's very clearly Delibird. He's just got, like, a rocket pack for some reason. Don't know why they chose to give him the special card in this, but it is kind of cool. He's kind of just doing some tricks off of an Icy Bluff, I suppose. Hyper Blower. I don't even know what this thing does. Once in your turn, this Pokemon's on your bench. You may switch out your opponent's active to the bench. But your opponent chooses. Womp womp. That kills it right there. And then the attack, if the defending Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. Could be cool, but for that much energy, not going to happen. Good luck with that. You're never going to get that much energy accelerated to do it. Actually, no, I guess you could use a double turbo, but I don't know. Evolution Pokemon, a lot of decks are playing nice chunky basics right now that hit for a lot, so it's really not going to help too much. And you get your Iron Valiant, same style with no reflectiveness. You get these stupid things. I don't know, I guess they look kind of neat, but I feel like the old ones in the past have looked better at some point. Ooh, I like the emerald with the pink. Very cool. Feels almost like a cat paw kind of pink in the middle there. Nice, and I think the middle dice are the little dice are the same for both. Makes sense. And then we get 11 more, hopefully. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And remember that is 2 more booster packs than you would get out of the normal ones, but you're also paying $10 more. So that kind of makes... It's in line with what you're getting. But I think these are just better in general because the promo is going to, again, pay for half of it. Why bother getting the normal ETB? I don't see any point. I've not touched, I think, a single normal ETB from any of the sets since Scarlet Violet Block has come out. So, without further ado, we've got 22 booster packs to get through of this set. I'll try to, it's going to be a lot to talk about and look at probably, but I will try to do my best to make this not a cluster. Okay, so I'm really stoked because I found my deck for this set, and it seems like that the main things that are kind of running the format right now are, you've got some of your older guys from Sword and Shield base. I feel like pretty much all of the decks pre-Scarlet Violet have kind of phased out at this point. The only one that I could say is still maybe seeing some play is Mew EX, because, not Mew EX, Mew VMAX, sorry. The EX is around too, but the VMAX is somehow still present and still pretty viable. It's not going anywhere still. It's probably one of the greatest cards of all time in a format. Like, it's just been a nuisance ever since it's been created. This thing has been around a lot lately. You get 60 extra HP if you attach this to a Pokemon. You could attach this to your Roaring Moon EX, and he goes up to a whopping 290 as a basic. However, his one attack does deal damage to himself, so if that's something you need to use. It does keep you with a little more health, so maybe if someone's like poking at you, they can't kill you quite as easy. Could be helpful. You never know. But let me get Brute Bonnet as our holo. As you can see too with these, they kind of do the texture over the whole top, and I think even the reverse is like, there's no patterning in here, it's just like a flush holo over the whole thing. We'll see one of those when we get it. I'm sure we'll get an Ancient or Future card with that on it. And those Ancient and Future things are kind of like battle styles, where you can use specific cards to aid certain Pokemon. Although some of the Ancient cards just kind of work in general, which, again, we'll talk about with my deck that I'm running. So you got that, you got the like... Ooh, okay, actually, hang on, let's talk about this. Actually, we could probably talk about decks as they pop up. So, the first thing we have here is an Iron Valiant. Very cool. I like that the Future thing kind of bleeds into it with the little techie dots over on the side. This is a Future Pokemon. So, what it does is every time this Pokemon retreats and comes back into the active, you can deal 20 damage wherever you want. And as far as I'm concerned, this is pretty much unblockable. Like, I thought Jirachi was going to be that, but this isn't like putting damage on from an attack, it's putting it on from an ability. So I don't really know what you deal with this other than using like Path to the Peak to try to turn the ability off so they can't do it. But it plays a lot of switching cards, so it can accelerate a lot of damage very fast. I've seen Urshifu VMAX make somewhat of a resurgence because you're putting damage everywhere, and then you use his nice big attack to hit 2 Pokemon for 120 for a knockout. So, pretty cool card. If you can power it up, it's not bad either for 200. Like, if you've already done damage from switching around, you could probably hit pretty easy. I just think getting 3 Psychic Energy is tough, and I haven't really seen this played with Gardevoir. I don't know if there's any kind of build with that. The only one I've really seen so far is the Urshifu build. But yeah, if you don't get set up very fast, or you are playing an EX deck that is not a basic, it can mill away your lower, like, 60 HP Pokemon in a second, and it's very threatening. It puts a lot of pressure on early game. I also say, too, with this, like, Techno Machine, pretty good. You just attach it and evolve 2 things. I've seen a lot of people playing more Charmeleons in Charizard decks because they could just get some things at a Stage 2 evolution very quick. Hey, and here we go. This is the Gimme Ghoul. I am playing Golden Go for this tournament. I didn't think I'd fall in love with this deck, but man, it is just very consistent and very fun to just cycle through your entire hand without having to really discard. You're just kind of discarding resources you don't need, or energy, which you're just going to immediately pull back into your hand using a number of different solutions to do it. And then what do we got? Professor Turos. Oh yeah, put one Pokemon to play in your hand. And I think all the other cards, yeah, go into the discard. So this is kind of like the colorless one that we have, except the Pokemon comes in your hand and not all the item cards, whereas with that card, it all comes back, but it's specifically reduced to normal types. So kind of the same thing, but a little different. I don't think we have to talk about Rika, because I don't think that's seeing any play whatsoever. And then we got a Chi-Yu and nothing else. All right, so far, we got one more that Gimme... Oh, wait, which Gimme Ghoul is that? Crap. I know I needed one more, because I need to play 4 copies of the little guy. But there's 2 different versions of it. One has a single retreat, but it has less HP. The other has more HP. I'm kind of going with the more HP variant, a bit more even with the retreat, because I'm playing Switch. Oh, okay, we got a full art. But yeah, I think playing the 2 retreat ones are a little bit better. Maybe like 1 copy of the single. But like with Iron Valiant in the format, you kind of want your guys to be able to hold on a little bit longer. So we got Sandy Shocks here with like almost like a... I don't know, it just feels like a... Van Gogh, maybe? Like kind of like a Van Gogh-esque backdrop on it. And then you got your Sandy Shocks, which is your weird ancient Magneton. Didn't think he would be the one to get one. They kind of gave him the Alolan Geo or Golem treatment, where he gets kind of like hairy for some reason. I don't know. What does this guy do? He's a fighting type Pokemon. Once during your turn, if your opponent has 4 or fewer prize cards remaining, you may attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. Okay, situational. And then in your next turn, Pokemon can attack for 200. That's pretty bad. Even though it's a basic, I don't see that attack really knocking anything out super easy. And if it could attach to other places, I think it would be a cool secondary or just kind of like technical card. It would still suck because it's a 2-prizer, but at least it has that going for it. And Professor Sada's Vitality, also very good for Roaring Moon, because it helps accelerate 2 energy to your discard, from your discard to your Pokemon, and then you get to draw 3. So pretty sweet for cycling through your deck and also getting set up at the same time. Nothing out of this bad boy. Put that back. We're still only a chunk of the way through the first one. This is going to take a bit. This is usually how it goes. Yeah, I think the other decks that are really a problem are like Chen Pao, which got like some really good tech with having more ways to get energy from the discard into your hand. It relies on the Frigibax engine to like keep getting energy onto it, so that's pretty cool. But it also, Golden Go hits it. Whoa, that's an alt, right? Is that an alt? Yeah, I forgot about Golisopod. I don't know why he got an EX in this set, but they always put some random Pokemon in. Yes. Oh, cool. Okay, so this is my first? No, it's my second one, because I did get a Golden Go one off camera. Sweet. I don't think this thing's any good at all. Discard energy from this Pokemon if you do so, switch it when you're benched. Yeah, he's like almost like in like a cavern or something. Don't know what's going on. That's pretty sweet. Oh yeah, we'll take it. Definitely not the most pricey one of the alts out of this set, just because it's not really playable. No one wants to use it for decks. But it is kind of cool. I'll take it. I'll take any alts that this thing wants to give me. Damn, we got a whole other box. I feel like there's more in here. I feel like it's not the only one we're going to get. Alright. Probably nothing out of this guy. Yep. So yeah, I don't know what other decks are going crazy. The Roaring Moon's everywhere, but I again think Golden Go just has a very easy matchup that it can take it out pretty quick, and it can't get... I think Golden Go is interesting because it's got 260 HP, which is like... And it's a stage 1, right? So you don't need to worry about doing any rare candy or any funky stuff to get evolutions in. So if they do take a knockout on your little guy turn 1, who really cares? Because the prize trade thing is still going to mean that they need to knock out 3 EXs in order to win the game. I mean, I guess they could boss up like a little guy or something, but the chances of that are not always perfect. So that's pretty cool. And it's got like 260 HP, which is just awkward. There's some like stage 1 EXs that just can't hit that sometimes. That's pretty cool. It just gets enough energy to work. And this guy goes with the your Tachyon Bits, whatchamacallit, the freaking Shining Lance, or whatever the heck his name is. What was his name? Iron Valiant? Iron Valiant. Yep, you attach this, it gets free retreat, and its attack deals 20 more damage, which doesn't really help because you're not attacking with it too much. But it is another retreat you can get, so you can switch into another one and deal another 20 damage. Very annoying. You basically just sit there and watch the guy shuffle through his through his hand and retreat 17 times and kill all your stuff on the bench. Not fun like turn 1, 2. Which is kind of cool. It's nice that we have like a nice rush down one that doesn't mind going second for once. Like usually you want to go first. That's a deck that wants to go second. But we have Garchomp EX, 320 HP. Very big, but he's a stage 3. 3 fighting energy from your discard pile to your bench Pokemon any way you like for 1. Hello? Why are we not talking about this guy as much? Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. Attack is 120 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. That's fine. I think we've seen Sonic Dive on him before. That Hydrolander is pretty cool, and it's doing damage. I guess there's just not too many fighting types right now that are really popping off. So that checks out that he's not seeing too much play, especially with him being a stage 3 and like Charizard just kind of being ultimately the better stage 3 with just how much damage output it does. However, I feel like it's kind of clunky. I feel like people flunk getting it often. And that's kind of Charizard's one downfall. Anything out of here? Oh, yes, I did need the Jirachi. That's really, really good. Okay, I'm going to have to actually really dig through these. Or actually, wait, no, I don't need the Jirachi. Because the only thing this thing helps with is Lost Box. And I feel like everybody really was like, oh, man, Lost Box is going to go nuts again. We need to make sure we're playing this to, like, stop it. But either the Lost Box players got too scared of this thing or just kind of realized that it's outclassed by a lot of the other new decks. I haven't seen a single person play it. I've been playing pretty consistent on, like, PTCG Live for the past, like, 2-3 days. So I think Lost Box is finally dead. I think we've seen the end of it after a very long reign since Lost Origin came out a long time ago. My boy Larry. And then we do the second box. Screaming Tail, Professor Sada's. This is just nice. This is almost the whole other booster box of stuff. I'm just really hoping I could find the remaining stuff I need out of these sets to just finish that deck off so I don't have to go looking around and trading for stuff. However, I think the Golden Goes are probably going to be the toughest. And that's the hard part with a lot of EXs in a set. You're not really going to guaranteed get it. I did get 3 out of the booster box. I got 1 of each rarity, but I don't really feel like playing my high rarity ones. That's just kind of like a me thing. This thing's interesting. I haven't seen this getting too much play. Pokemon is attached to, doesn't have a rule box, gets 100 extra HP. If it's knocked out, your player takes 1 more prize card. So kind of cool. You could turn like little guys into almost like EX level HP Pokemon. Kind of fun. It basically means you can make anything like EX level strength. So without having the rule box too, which is kind of good because a lot of cards don't work with rule boxes or like affect it, so you won't really get touched, but you do get the extra HP bonus. Kind of neat. I don't think anybody's found the right Pokemon to really play it with yet, to be honest. But I'm sure at some point we're going to get a deck that really works with it. We got the Moth. That's kind of fun. Okay, this is our first art rare, right? I don't think we got any other ones other than like the big special ones. This is the little Gimme Ghoul, which is actually exciting. Yep, this is the one where like you can, it's, again, it got 70 HP, a little bit better. The downside is its 2 retreat cost. I think that's the big pitfall because you can't just attach 1 energy, retreat into something else you need. But you can do continuous coin toss, and if you get really lucky, you could just hit somebody for an absurd amount of damage. I kind of like it because like if you're going second and you attach to it, you can start whittling some damage onto the active, and maybe like you're not fully ready to have enough energy to knock out that Pokemon with your Golden Go. He could at least get you down to the right numbers accidentally. However, it's luck and chance, so I think that's why people are kind of frowning upon it, because I noticed most of the big TCG player people who are taking it super seriously do not like anything with luck. I like a little luck. I like to have a little luck on my side. And I don't think it really punishes the deck, and I think the 70 HP is enough of a benefit to keep it in there, to be honest. Because the only thing you're getting with the other one is it just has an attack that lets you just search your deck for another basic and put it onto the bench. I mean, that's kind of helpful, but you're not really bricking too often with Golden Go as long as you have the right kind of support stuff in it to get it accelerated and moving. So I don't think there's too much to worry about there. So I think he's just fine to use in the deck. Chantal, which is a terrible card if I remember right. Nope. Hey, okay, we got the Roaring Moon. Cool, we can actually see and talk about this bad boy. So the reason... Oh, I need more sleeves. I got 1 more sleeve and I'm going to buy more at some point. Anyway, 230 HP for basic. Pretty dang good. Can't complain, a lot of health. And then its Frenzied's Gouging one just knocks out the opponent's Pokemon. And there's a lot of stuff to accelerate. Dark Energy, you could use Dark Patch. You could use Energy Switch to move energy from another Pokemon onto the Pokemon. You could use Moltres, which has its Accelerate Dark Energy, and you could pull it on. There's just so many ways to get energy onto this guy that it makes the 3 energy cost not too big of a threat. But yeah, you are hitting yourself for 200, so it kind of sets you up to get knocked out quick. I see some people be like, yeah, play like a 1-of Scyther with Grass Energy, and then you can just retaliate and knock it out quick. And then Calamity Storm is a stadium in play. You can do up to 220 damage, which is nice for me. It still doesn't knock out my Golden Go, but you can see how this thing could be a problem. And it's still surprising that people are playing Mew, even when something like this is still rampant in the format. Very, very funny. Also, it's weird. These packs are a lot more flimsy than the first box. I have no idea why. They feel completely different. Like, these feel like how old, like, I don't know, Sun and Moon packs felt. Like, very brittle. I'll never understand why packs kind of do that. Super strange. Can we get anything else? Nope. Kingdra, and let's go through. I think we've got about 4 or 5 left. Let's just take it slow. I'm just gonna calm down. Let's enjoy the last few. Let's maybe get one more alt. That would make me feel content with these. One out of each would be super nice, or even a full art. Give me something. The first one had Sandy Shock's full art, and the other thing. Good, I need Earthen Vessel. We can actually take a look at the. Okay, I don't think we need to talk about Aegislash. Do we need to talk about Aegislash? Oh god, I'm throwing things on the floor. 70 damage for each prize card you have taken. Could be funny, but it's a stage 3. If it was a stage 1, this thing would get played all over the place. I guarantee it. And then this Pokemon deals 30 to itself. A nice classic, but for 2 energy, 220. This feels like one of those attacks that should be like you can't use it next turn, but I guess their trade-off instead was you hitting yourself, which isn't fantastic, because then it brings it into 300 HP. Stage 3, pretty bad. I get it. There's really nothing super interesting going on there with that guy. He's not going to win you anything. And it is good, though. Metal Energy does have a good it has a good, like, pairing, because it knocks out, you know, at least the Iron Valiant pretty easy, which is funny, because I think it's Steel in the game, too, right? So, like, funny that it's weak to Steel after all that. Oh, and that little Earthen Vessel, you just discard a card, draw 2 energy in your hand. Very freaking nice. I also even know how these technical machines work. You just kind of attach it for turn, and you could use this attack on anybody. I think it's kind of cool and a neat way to bring energy, or not energy, bring the TMs into the game. Again, I think they were around a long time ago, but I can't remember. And what does this one do? You can use this card only if you discard another card from your hand. 2 future. Yeah, good future engine if you need to draw into it. Thievel. Nothing else. 3 left. Come on, a little bit more. All things considered, I'm not upset. Like, that is a very hefty stack, even if a lot of it is just EXs and whatnot. I do need some of the little guys, and I feel like, I don't know, I just want to see more out of the set, so happy to just be getting more in general, even if it's not the max rarity stuff. Yeah, my goat, it's fucking Larry, baby. Normal type gym leader guy that everybody really, really likes a lot. I don't think he's any good. Flip a coin, Fed, search your deck for 2 Pokemon, reveal them, put them into your hand. If Tails, search your deck for... As a supporter, no thank you. It's a very funny looking card. I'll take it. All right, we got a full art out of this thing finally. 2 more to go. Come on. God, it's already a 21-minute video. Jeez. Yeah, that's why I'm glad I kind of partly at least opened it, so you guys don't have to sit through all of this. Thank you if you made it this far. I can't believe you're here with me if you made it this far. Counter catcher's back, baby. If you're down in prizes, suck up your opponent's thing. It's a free boss, but it's situational, so not always the best thing to have, but it could work in some decks where you know you're going to be behind early. Bit of cool. And then our last booster pack. God, I'm going to have so many of these to scan in. This has been a long ride. This feels like way longer than when I usually open 2 of these with other sets. Oh, I guess because recently the other ones haven't had 2 boxes. The first time in a while they've done that since base set, right? That would explain why I'm freaking tuckered out from all this. And I think that's all we're going to get. So yeah, let's sum everything up. Let's see how much these promos are worth. And, you know, let me know if you're enjoying Paradox Rift or enjoying the format. Last thing, Iron Hands. Everybody was freaking wrong. It's useful in like 2 decks, and even then, it doesn't always get its situational attack for 120 damage to take 2 prize cards. It is not the new ADP. Maybe not yet. Maybe another set can make it that way. Who knows? But yeah, not nearly as bad as everybody said. I feel like there's a lot of other cards in the set that are way more broken than that thing, so kind of funny. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Are you serious, man? My cat just knocked something off the shelf. Hold on. Down, buddy. I'm glad they caught it in the video. We'll see what to do with that later. This is the loudest outro video. I might even just silence it for once. This is just like a weird... Yeah, you know what? No audio this time. We're just going to let the atmosphere sink in. You could hear Pokeball tins falling off a shelf from a cat and giant horns blaring, because for some reason in this area, there's a curfew at 10, and they just blast a loud siren to let you know. I'll never understand why. But yeah, that's what happens here. It's your Sandy Shocks. A Larry. Gimme Ghoul. Glissapod. Shabbat.